Welcome to the Trading Lounge, and here's the S&P 500 on a 2-hour chart. And as you know, we were counting 5 waves up towards the 1600 up this way, and yesterday we were counting the last little sort of 5-wave structure to the upside. We've got weaker global manufacturing figures, and also the ADP figures from the US, the private employment figures, were also softer, and that's always a good lead into Friday's non-farm payroll figures as well. And of course, some of that move that we're seeing will be taking on board that particular concept of weaker non-farm payroll figures on the Friday. So also as well is that normally when we're looking at an A wave here, the A wave is normally quite sharp, where the C wave, the next one, is a little bit slower, a little bit like this one here, I guess. So let's see how we go with that. There is a possible chance that this move up through here is what I've labelled it as wave 1 and coming back for wave 2 there. There is a possible chance that this is a serious top here in terms of looking at the S&P 500 here on a daily chart here and looking back over these years here and looking at this situation here. And there is a wave count that sort of fits that, but there's still sort of evidence when I look at the banks that there is still further upside to go, and that's why we're looking at this being wave 1 and coming back for wave 2. But look, let's work that out as we go. The old proverb of sell in May and go away is also valid as well. So there's a couple of, but let's just see what we've got here. Let's just see this unwind here as such. In the Dow Jones here as well, as just mentioned, it's quite possible that we do have a top in here, but I don't know. I mean, I've just most Elliott people would have a top in here, but I always just felt there was that they'd made a mistake in counting the wave structure up. So, but let's just see how we go through here and see how this comes back here. So in terms of the Dow Jones on the CFD here on the 2-hour chart, we would be looking at, obviously this block here is the volume support here. The important level here, the 1465 will be an important level for this low here, as the 50-60% normal sort of thing coming in through here would be the case there. And if we drill in a little bit closer through here on the 5-minute chart to see how this is progressing to the downside here, we can see that we've got 5 waves down. We can see that we will take this as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1. This would be wave 2 here, and then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third here, a bit small, the fourth and the fifth here. So we can expect to see this is still sort of, you can see this is speeding down here and it's slowing down here. Fair enough, the session's ending and so forth. But the 1465 is a sub, well, it's halfway between the profit taking number 8 minor trading level, 14.8 and 14.5. So that's the halfway mark there, and it normally kicks in quite well. So let's see how we go with that. The European markets are on the same thing as well. As you know, for the FTSE here, we've been counting 5 waves up to the medium level through here. We understood that there will obviously be resistance there, because of before, but also the 65 number again always works well. So look, let's just see how this unfolds as well. The FTSE's always quite similar to the Australian market as well. There's a strong relationship there. So when we look at the Australian market as such, we have also been counting 5 waves up as well, but for the top of a 3rd wave here. So we'll be looking for a 4th wave to pull back. The 38.2 retracement level is just below the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So this is the area that we would be looking at through here as well. So wave 4s can get a bit complicated. Let's see how we go with that. The base metals are lower, so that's going to be driving that down. We've also got a lower Australian dollar as well, which would help support this as well, and that will give it support. There's a lot of support going to be in all of, as this moves down through here, just expect a bumpy ride. Also, it's Thursday as well. Thursday is the bear day in a bullish market. It's just that those non-farm payroll figures, it would be interesting to see, you know, how much of that gets priced in on the Friday. But do expect a rough ride in this wave 4 here, which could last until Monday. But let's just see how Thursday goes. If today is down on lower volume on the daily chart, lower than yesterday, then you know, we're pretty safe. We know that sellers haven't moved in. It's just profit taking as such. Let's have a look at the base metals and the precious metals, as there was also movement in precious metals to the downside, as you know. I'm just going to start with copper here, and yesterday we were looking at, where are we? Yesterday we were counting these little 5 waves down through to here, and I just figured that this is more likely an A and a B and a C through here, and what we were discerning ourselves with is that the pivot within group 1 here, minor group 1, 10, 20 and 30 here, normally when the 320, when the pivot number 2 here fails and the market gets stuck under that, then it's always, we'll see it, you know, come down to this area here. And, you know, this is interesting because this has obviously got further to move down, and we would count this down now here as a 5-wave structure, so we can count that as wave 1 here and wave 2 here now, and we're looking at wave 3 moving down here where we can expect a bounce, and wave 4, and also in this move down through here too. If you've got a keen eye, you can see that we've got down for 1 here, back for 2 here, and we're going down for 3 here, and in this third wave here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, well, should finish here at 305 and get another bounce and then down again through here. So there's still more to go down here, and what that means is that it means that the Australian dollar will move down further, and that would also be a good short. It also means that the copper has also led the precious metals to the downside. So because this is so low here, it's a really good indication that the gold market and the silver market can do the same. I'm just going to start with the silver market here for a moment, and first of all, just find the bigger picture here. This is the bigger picture here, and as you know, we were looking for this to retest the medium level here as a wave 4. And it's done that, and we can see that it's you know, rolling over somewhat, and because of base metals like copper is more so down at the old lows here, that's quite a good indication that this has got further to go down. But I'm also mindful as well is that wave 4s can be quite complicated after a strong move down. This is a sharp thing. It's quite a shock to the market, and a shock into humanity takes a while to digest and to process and so forth, and that's what a wave 4 does as well. So I'm mindful that the wave 4 here may get a bit more complicated. It could turn into a triangle, which would be this 3 waves here would be wave A, a B, a C, a D and an E wave, and then we could move down. Or it could be an A and a B and a C wave, which is how I've got this labelled here. I don't know if this is the case, but it certainly can be. So we've got this as an A wave, and this counts better as a triangle through here for wave E, and that, beg your pardon, that little B wave should be over here under E, and then we've got a nice little 5-wave structure to the upside to complete that. That's why I've done that for A. And the reason I'm putting this here as a B wave is because this move down through here is is in 3 waves and not 5 waves. So an A and a B and a C wave that's uncompleted just yet. So this would be down for 1 here, cross for 2, down for 3, back for 4, and down for 5. So it could hit on the 23 here, or the 2272 area through here, group 2 here, and then move up from that into a wave C here. Now that I'm not sure if it's going to be roll over into a bear market. We'll get to see that not in its first leg down, next leg down to here, but more so what type of move we get back up here. If we only get 3 waves back up and then we start to see 5 come down again, then we'll know where we are and then we can short from there. So there's no rush to do anything from here. Just sort of bear that in mind. So silver has got quite a nice corrective pattern. We know that it's corrective and at some point it will move down lower. So that's one good thing. But the gold, the reason I'm showing you this in order first, because the copper market is down here lower. The silver is not too far, it's down a bit lower. The gold market is not down as much. Let me just find my bearings here with these charts. So first of all, we're looking at this being a rally coming back to the 1500 here, and you can see that it hasn't really moved down that far, has it? Do you know what I mean? But it could, what I'm sort of suggesting, it could be a late starter to the downside. Let's just sort of zoom in on that a little bit further here, and pretty much what we were looking for here. The other day we had this 3-wave structure through here, and this does count as a 5-wave structure to the upside there in the 1, the 2, all the way up for the 3rd, the A, the B, and the C for the 4th and the 5th. So it could be a truncated 5th wave here. I just don't know. It can be a B wave, like we just mentioned with the silver, and it could possibly be a 5-wave structure starting from down this side here. Support back up on the 65 here, would start to see overlapping wave structures with wave 1 here, as such as wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 down here. So if it found support on 1465, then it's likely to go further up at that stage there. If we do see another little wave down through here, then we'll have to count that as 1, 2, 3, 4 back to here, and 5 down through to here. So we just need it to play out a little bit further. So let's just see how that goes. I can't really give a clean count on this just yet. That's what wave 4s are. They're just a little bit complicated. They're not as simple as impulse waves. Okay, so the oil market. Sorry, this is oil too. It's just Brent. Well, just Brent. From its high here, just wanted to point out that from its high here, it's moved down because the western Texas has moved down as well. But we can see here, this has actually moved down in 3 waves here, and it's retesting the $100 a barrel here. So it'll be interesting to see if it can get back up through here. So it's just something to keep your eye on. If it fails through here, then we'll know that we're getting 5 waves down, the 1, the 2, 3, the 4, and the 5 coming down through here. So I thought that was interesting and something very simple to keep an eye on at the major trading level 1 there. Okay, so coming into this here, if you'd been looking at the 4-hour chart on oil, then you'll realize that we were looking for this move up through here as being an A wave and a B wave coming back into this area through here. And that's the case. As you've seen with Brent, if that gets stuck under 100 and moves down, well then this is likely to move down further through here as well and get locked under through here. This obviously will also follow the indices as well. So whatever happens to the indices, if that pullback on the S&P 500 is a wave 2, then we'll see this obviously push down here a little bit further and then move up again in a wave C up through here. That's if the wave 2 on the US indices is correct. If we do have a top in place, then we're going to start seeing a 5-wave structure to the downside, and the 5-wave structure would basically be down for 1 and back for 2, down for 3, back for 4, and down for 5. Then we'll see an A, B, C correction back up, and then we'll see another 5 coming down through this wave. So early days just yet. There's not the setup for a trade long or short here just yet. Let's just see how that plays out a little bit further. Okay, let's have a look at the FX as a possibly a good short in the Australian dollar. Okay, starting with the US dollar through here, we can see that our ABC correction is unfolding quite nicely. The A, the B, and we're working through the C C wave from here. So as you know, we were looking down for wave 1 and wave 2 and wave 3 down to here. In wave 3 there's 5 waves as well, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 and the 5 down to here. So we should see some sort of wave 4 here. Now I've just got wave 4 at the logical place here at pulling back here, but it can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree up through to here. So let's see how we go with that. But it could also just vibrate across the 8150 and then drop down as well. So we're still looking for this to move down a bit lower towards the 81 here. The wave 5 here from 4 to 5, the distance of that should be about the same length as wave 1 here, if everything is normal and nothing comes out of left field, so to speak. Okay, so yeah, bear that in mind. The euro, just in the bigger picture here, so we're looking for from here we're looking for the A, the B and the C wave up through to here, and once again we're also looking at this as being up for 1 and back for 2 here, and then the whole third wave going up through here. So this would be the fourth wave unfolding across the 132 here as we expected. So allow that correction to play out through here and keep an eye on the wave 4 for the US dollar to see if how far it kicks back to the 82 or just goes sideways across the 81.50. But look, once the 132 has got support over here, then you'd scale in through group 1, 10, 20 and 30. If support is found on top of 30 as always, then you'll get to the 50 and we'll be looking up here a little bit higher, perhaps not to the 33, but it should be the same length as wave 1 here, from the low of wave 4 here. So we'll see how that goes. But we mentioned the other day around the 132.72, because we got that 272 there. That would look, it may not be the top there, but it's worth taking some at that particular point, as there will be a reaction there, as there always is. Okay, the Australian dollar as well. If you've been tracking this, if you're looking at the intraday charts yesterday, last night, then you'd realise that we were looking for a very sharp move to the downside. That's in play, and also too that you know that we were looking for the ABC correction to the upside through here. Just didn't know if there was one more little wave here or we were starting to the downside here, but seeing this move down through here and failing here and moving through here would obviously give you the short. Now if you've missed that, that's fine. What we'll be looking for next is we're looking for a 3-wave thing anywhere back into this little area here. I've left the trend line there because sometimes it just goes back and touches that and then moves down through here. So basically looking for shorts back in here, so you can put limit short positions up through there. Now that we've got 5-wave sequence to the downside, and also not just that, it's just the fact that we've got this ABC correction to the upside there. The main point here for further downside as well, when we're working with group 1, and group 1 would be in this case 1, 2 and 3. If we get trapped under 102 this time, then we'll be looking for further downside towards the $1 and under the $1, because that's how group 1 works, because we got our first bounce off 102, the pivot within group 1, and this is all sort of normally comes back to the 104 area and then starts working down, and once it gets under here, then it's confirmation that you will be working with the price below here. So that's what we're looking at that stage there. So just bear that in mind. And also, this would be the line for the copper. And normally the Australian dollar is quite a good leader as well for those commodities, because it is a commodity dollar after all. So it can lead the way, and it's very much in line with the copper situation in terms of. With copper, the price has come back down to its previous lows here. Silver's kind of working that way. Gold doesn't look like it, but it might be just a late starter and roll over from that point there. So the Australian dollar, as humble as it is, can certainly lead the markets to the downside, and that's what we'll be looking at. Alrighty, well I think that's it. Yes, so. one of the sort of important keys, I guess, is the ADP figures being softer, and that could roll into Friday's being softer as well in the US there. So Thursday is normally a day that takes out stops, and I mentioned that early in the week, as we always do. So, you just need to make up your own mind of how you handle the situation. Taking the money on the Wednesday is normally the go. Thursday, if the volume is on the stocks is lower to the downside, because a lower Australian dollar should see some support for stock as such. So let's just keep an eye on that volume there. Thursday can be actually a buying opportunity. It's just that those ADP figures are a little bit of a concern. So, but still, let's see the ASX 200 find support in closer to the 5,100, and let's see what sort of volume comes in today on the sell side. Alrighty, I think that's it. So, alrighty, good morning and good luck. Enjoy the day ahead.